over 19 years, your eyes and ears on horse racing has been Tommy Walski's, the Sport of King. On today's show, we'll find out what it's like to be a traveling jockey. Our race of the week is the George Royal. Tommy recaps some of the major stakes in racing across the nation. Virginia gets you caught up on all the news. We'll hit the archives in case you missed it. Our salute to the champions, remember, one of racing equine heroes. And now here he is, BC's ambassador to the world of horse racing, Mr. Tommy Walski.
We open up today's program to look at one of Canada's top riders. His name is Quincy Welsh. Welsh, as you will see, takes you behind the scenes of what it's like to be in the exciting world of a jockey. We asked Quincy, why did you choose Vancouver of all the racetracks you could have attended?
Came out here to get my weight down and get some riding fitness in and make a little money while I'm at it. But as far as staying, it's a little more competitive out here in terms of the trainers. I haven't been other than Barb, I haven't been able to ride for like Troy Taylor and some of the bigger barns, which can be a little frustrating in comparison to Alberta, where I can ride for 3 of the top 4 barns.
It isn't very often you hear other riders compliment other jocks, their rivals, but you get a lot of compliments from your peers. Always on the back of the mind is he should be going at Woodbine. He should be at Woodbine. Do you have that in the back of your mind?
Oh yeah, definitely. It's just a matter of time. I'll be there sooner or later. I'm kind of scouting an agent right now, and after that, I'll make the transition soon.
You've ridden some pretty nice horses. 2 Metropolitan. How'd you get him?
Fortunately, he wasn't doing that well here, and Terry Jordan had another horse that was running in the same category, and he felt rather than have them clash, he decided to send him to Alberta, and he ran second his first start, and he ran second his first start, and then my agent seeing that I didn't have a horse for the longer distances, and my agent contacted Terry Jordan, and it was history after that.
What kind of horse is he to ride? 2 Metropolitan, because he's been a hero here for years.
He was, you would know. Sometimes the better they feel, it doesn't necessarily mean that they can run. And he felt average, but when it came to running, he could hold the maximum speed for a long period of time, which works to his benefit. He didn't really have a real kick or acceleration, but he could hold top gear for a long time.
You talk about weight. How difficult is it being a jockey in weight?
It's very difficult. You have to concentrate, and 7 days a week you must. I'm 5'7", so it's not as easy for me as it would be for some of the shorter guys. But this is what I love, and as I said, you have to keep at it on a daily basis.
For our viewers, this is an off day. We're doing this. There's no racing, but you've been in the sweat box. Run us through your day. Run us through a week for you.
Usually, I would have a light breakfast, come to the track in the morning, work out some horses. Sometimes, if I find that, that I've indulged the night before, I put a sweatsuit on, a mud suit, and underneath my jacket, and, try to lose a pound or 2 that way. And then after that, go in the box, lose a pound or 2 there, go home, have lunch, in the late afternoon, go jogging again. Maybe for an hour, and then have supper. Do the same thing over the next day.
The box every day.
Yes, pretty much. I enjoy it. I enjoy it. If I don't go in the box, I don't feel comfortable for some reason. I feel refreshed.
That's hard to believe. You like going into the sweat box, but riders do, don't they?
Yes. Oh, I've been doing it for 17 years now, so it's like a religion.
Is it a tough job?
Yes, it is. It's very tough.
In what way?
Dieting is tough. Maintaining focus, not being complacent is another obstacle. And then, that's only the beginning. Then you have to deal with the horses and the people on the back stretch.
During the winter time, do you still have to?
Oh no, not at all. My home country is Barbados, so I go home and take it easy for a while, let the body relax.
By relaxing, how big? What do you weigh now?
Right now I'm 115 pounds.
When you relax during the wintertime, how big can you get?
135.
135? How long does it take you to get it up?
Probably about 6 weeks to 2 months.
Barbados, racetracks there, obviously.
Yeah, just one.
How well do you do there, and how often do they run?
I haven't ridden there in about 4 or 5 years now. It just, as I said, I just take it easy. Get as far away from racing as possible, and you know, I take the family down there and just enjoy it, kick back.
You have a brother.
Yes.
He's riding here.
Yes, Kevin Nichols. I was in Edmonton, and then he came up and went to Winnipeg, and he didn't like it there, so then he decided to try it here. I think this is his 3rd or 4th year.
When you're at home in Barbados, how did you find out about Canada, and was this your first choice?
Well, I found out about Canada by accident. You know, I was doing quite well there as an apprentice, and somebody told me through the grapevine that they were looking for riders in Edmonton. I've never heard of Edmonton, so you know, I did some research and you know, found out that you know, in my home country they only run once a week. So you know, I felt to be a lot better, you know, to you know, for experience to come to Canada and be able to ride 4 days a week.
This lifestyle, is it tough on a family? Because you do have a family, correct?
Yes, yeah, it can be quite tough on a family. You know, I recently got married, and you know, I have a couple kids, so we have a couple kids, so it's quite hard to, you know. On Sunday, I went home on Sunday evening, and came back on Tuesday evening. So it's, you know, to get home for a couple days and then leave again. It can be testing on a relationship and with the kids.
Will you be coming back here, and would you like to one day try it here?
Oh yeah, definitely. I love the city here. It's as I said a couple days ago, it reminds me of home, and you know, it's unfortunately, you know, I don't think it's advantageous for me right now in terms of racing, but you know, definitely I would consider coming back here for the long term.
And now to get you up to date with what's happening in and around the track, let's saddle up with our own Virginia Tulloch.
Stakes action continued over the weekend with the 55th running of the Brick House Bells Sunday afternoon. Concert music looked to keep her perfect record intact, but had to take on returning Hastings fan favorite and Sovereign Award winner Dancing All-Star. This strong field provided great entertainment. Let's have a look at the finish.
Storm, Blue Sky Holiday, and Random Highs. The half 45 flat as they race to the top of the lane. Dancing All-Star, now there's room. Concert music now slips through. Down the lane they come. Concert music. Here's Windstorm. She's trying to close down on the inside. Followed by Kauai Princess. Concert music, Kauai Princess, Windstorm. Concert music to score in the Brick House Bells. Kauai Princess will be second. Windstorm third. Blue Sky Holiday rallies for fourth.
Congratulations to horse trainer Frank Barabee for his recent nomination into the Canadian Horse Racing Hall of Fame. We went to the backstretch to talk to Frank about this honor.
A great honor, really is, with the people that have already in there, like the Sandy Hollies, and he was like our kid walking horses in the shed room when I was riding for Duke Campbell, who he started with. And then my wife's uncle, Pete McCann, who, you know, like I think he won about 9 Queen's Plates. And Gomez, there's like one of the greatest. No, it's such an honor. It's kind of unbelievable, you know, really is.
After Super Saver's spectacular win in the Kentucky Derby, the question now on everyone's mind is whether or not Super Saver will win the Triple Crown. We went down to Hastings Racetrack over the weekend to ask that very question.
Off his last race, he ran a very impressive race. Well-placed horse. Looks like the distance won't be a problem for him. He is the horse to beat.
I would guess no. I mean, he's a nice 3-year-old. He's getting, you know, he seems to be peaking at the right time, but it's a grueling 3 races, and I think you have to be a super horse to do it. You know, you can't just be a good horse. He's probably just a good horse, not a super horse. So I'm going to say no to Super Saver.
Probably not. It's hard to. It's hard with races so close for a horse to run that good twice in a row. That's what I think.
If any horse will, he will. But, all right, I don't think it's possible. There's too many horses sitting in the weeds, and they don't know about some fresh horses coming up. Of the horses that run in the Derby, he's the best.
No, I don't think he will. I think that there is a couple of horses in the Kentucky Derby that got really rough trips that will have better trips when the field size is cut down. So it's a tough chore. winning the Triple Crown.
A little too early to tell. You'll have to see how he does in the Preakness first. Also, that race is a lot longer, and it takes a special kind of horse. Also, a lot of fresher horses come in for the third run.
Definitely, he's my boy.
He's going all the way.
All the way.
This year.
Racing sensation Zenyatta is now using her fame to promote the LA Dodgers in an ad campaign called This Is My Town. Billboards are appearing in the LA area showing Zenyatta and the slogan. Zenyatta is currently 16-0 and training well for her next start in the Vanity on June 13th. That's all the news for today. From the trackside here at Hastings, I'm Virginia Tellick, and now you're back on track.
Don't go away. The Sport of Kings. We'll be right back.
Now here's the part of the show we simply call In Case You Miss It. It's a chance for you to look back at the magic and the mystery of horse racing here in British Columbia from the Sport of Kings perspective. In case you missed it. Today on our In Case You Missed It part of the program, we're taking you back a few years as we show you the amazing story of a horse with two lives. His name is Sid Go. What he does in the mornings and the afternoon, you're going to be surprised, but we couldn't have done this story without his trainer, Sidney Barrowby, explaining all about Sid Go.
I'd wanted to buy a filly, and all the ones that I could afford had already gone through. And he came into the arena, little runt thing that's born June 20th, and I raised up my hand and they slammed the hammer down and I had him. The first week was a war. I had to put him on he'd come out of the arena in a lather. I had to put him on some calming drugs, just some B1 and thiamine and stuff, and then finally when his brain clicked, he started learning like really fast. But the problem with him is he's very strong galloping, and he hurts himself because he won't relax, he won't, he pulls real hard, he tries to run off. So I had to find a different way of doing things to make him relax and not hurt himself. So this spring I started him in the Western tack and taught him to neck rein and stop, and one guy came and took him by the bridle and turned him around. No, this is wrong, you're not supposed to do this with racehorses. But most of the people see that it's working now and they think it's really neat.
It's pretty unusual. I haven't seen it for years. This horse loves to train. He loves to be out here. He loves other horses, and he's the ideal pony. And it just happens to be not a bad racehorse either.
There they go. Nobody picked 5, got away poorly. Sid Go sent off for the early lead. Now moving into challenge will be Tough Waters. Kuthi from
Oh, he's the coolest horse in the whole world. He's just the happiest, grooviest buddy. I love him.
Sid Go, Tough Waters, and Riverbend Joe, 3 of them at the line.
This horse has been a little moneymaker for you in many ways.
Yeah, he's made 30 grand as a racehorse. Plus he makes money in the Morning Pony, which is kind of fun because people pay me to train my horse.
What was it like when he first went on the racetrack with another horse beside him as a pony?
Well, all the time he's been good next to other horses in company and whatnot. And if somebody's having a hard time, before he was even a pony, if somebody's having a hard time getting a horse to the track, I'd grab him and lead him up the track with him in the exercise saddle.
I think it's probably easier on him doing what he's doing than just training with a rider on his back, galloping like normal in the mornings. I mean, it's nice, easy lopes, long, slow gallops, and that's what it takes out here. A lot of these horses that train out here, they're far too rushed. They're out here and swish, they're back to the barn, where he's out here, these long, slow gallops, and I think it's good for him. I think it's good for all the horses.
He knows when he has a horse, he's working. He gets a little mad because the horses are always past him, so it kind of gets him a little mad too. When he goes out for the race, he wants to beat everybody because it's his only chance. It is hard for him because racing he loves to run. More than anything in the world, he loves to run.
It's nice to see a racehorse be able to do that. Usually a retired racehorse can do that kind of stuff. It's hard usually to get a racehorse to take another horse to the gate because they don't understand. not taught that. But Cindy's done a really good job with the Sid, and he can do it all. It's pretty amazing. For a racehorse to be able to pony one to the gate, it's pretty amazing.
He's a part of the family. And I think one of the reasons why he'll do all this for me is because he trusts me and he loves me. And I'm his mom, and if I say it's okay, then it's okay.
Cindy, when you name a rider on this horse and they get on the post parade and you tell them he's also pony, what do they usually comment?
I don't usually tell them. I told a jockey before and he got all upset and he says, well, how do I steer him? What if he stops fast? So I just don't tell him anymore. Anne knows he's a pony and she's good with it. And Connie Curcio was going to ride one of my horses once, and she thought it was neat because she would be able to neck rein him through the holes and stuff. In the morning, it's neck reining, like you would do a Western pleasure horse, where the rein lies on the neck and they move away from it. And when he's have the racing tack on, then it's more the English style where you pull on the line to make him turn. But he'd probably do it neck reining too if you wanted him to. Well, I tell him when he's in the racing tack, he's a racehorse. And when he's in the pony tack, he's a pony.
Racing across the nation, where we follow all the top stakes races throughout North America. Racing Across the Nation is brought to you in memory of Jeff Robinson, owner and breeder at Erin Acres.
Today on our Racing Across the Nation part of the program, you're going to be looking at two exciting races that could have a major impact on the Breeders' Cup coming up later in the year. First up, you're going to be going to Belmont Park, New York. You're going to be looking at the Grade 1, $200,000 Dwyer Stakes. In this race, there are two horses you want to pay particular attention to. One is the number 2 horse, Drosselmeyer, who is the odds-on favorite, and Fly Down, trained by Hall of Fame trainer Nick Zeal.
Around the far turn. And Carnivore has a narrow lead. Soaring Empire right there. Fly Down coming with a sweeping move on the far outside. And Drosselmeyer looms in behind the horses that take the way to the top of the stretch. Off the turn into the stretch. Soaring Empire and Fly Down. Drosselmeyer switch to the outside. Carnivore fades. Remand far outside. Fly Down has come away with the lead. And Fly Down strikes the 8th pole. Clear by 4. Drosselmeyer runs in second, then Remand on the outside, and Soaring Empire toward the rail, looking very good indeed, was Fly Down by 6 commanding lengths to win the Dwyer over Drosselmeyer, Remand, and Soaring Empire.
Next up, we take you down I-5. You're going to visit Hollywood Park Racetrack in Southern California. The race you're going to be watching is the Grade 2, $150,000 Mervyn Leroy handicap. It's for older horses. Horses to watch, rather one horse to watch is the promising Breeders' Cup hopeful, and he's number 6, Rail Trip.
3 furlongs from the wire in the Mervyn Leroy, and he's a length in front of Rail Trip in second. Sangaree is 3 deep in third. Dakota Phone stays at the rail, 2 off the lead. Cigar Man is next. Loosed His Now. Gotta Go, 3 deep and 5 from the front. Art Currency is the trailer, and we have a new leader. It's Rail Trip. Rail Trip takes over the lead at the top of the stretch. He's suddenly a length and a half in front of Sangaree. Trace Baracho's Dakota Phone between horses. To the outside, Loosed His Now, and Rail Trip is clear, and Rail Trip is gone. Rail Trip far in front. Sangaree is second. Then Trace Baracho's Rail Trip. Yes.
Time now for Sport of Kings Trivia. Here is today's trivia question. The Kentucky Derby weight of 126 pounds was established in 1920. Since then, only one rider has ridden over that weight. Name that rider. Well, the answer for you in just a minute. Don't go away. The Sport of Kings. We'll be right back. Time now for the answer to today's trivia question. In 1971, Bobby Parrott rode Saigon Warrior at 127 pounds. He earned the moniker the only fat guy to ride in the Derby. Can't get enough trivia? Check out the Derby Bar and Grill Daily Trivia Contest at derbybarandgrill.com. Sport of Kings shines its camera on the equine heroes competing for glory in the biggest weekly Hastings race. We call it our Race of the Week. The Race of the Week is brought to you by Nick's Spaghetti House. Nick's Spaghetti House, combining great food in a horse racing atmosphere.
Today on our Race of the Week, brought to you by Nick's Spaghetti House, you're going to be looking at the older horses who are competing. In the $50,000 George Rose Stakes, it's run at 6.5 furlongs. This is a race that any of the entrants that you're about to watch could be the victor.
Seminole Brave is owned by Fran Snow and G&G Stable. Seminole Brave has been working well coming into this year's first stake race. He might prefer a softer track.
I'd rather be in the outside, more in the middle of the bunch, but he's got enough speed to get out of there and keep himself out of trouble, I think.
Texas Wildcatter is owned by Glenn Todd and Patrick Kinsella. Texas Wildcatter's always knocking at the door and has won big at this track.
It's been working pretty good. I gallop him a little bit, and then he's feeling really, really well right now. It's going to be interesting. It's a tough race, a lot of speed.
Almost Time is owned by Swift Thoroughbreds. Almost Time is coming off a strong performance in his season opener. He'll be near the lead today.
He's a pretty nice horse. We had him last year. He kind of got a little sidetracked with a few little minor injuries, and he came back great a couple weeks ago. He came out of his race in super shape. Just hoping he doesn't bounce.
Tommy Danziger is owned by Edgar Smith. Tommy Danziger makes his second start off a fantastic 3-year-old campaign.
He's trained awfully well this spring. We got a little 6 furlong dash into him, which isn't really his game in his first start. So we're looking for longer races as well. But this week we should have some run in the end.
Woom Broom Express is owned by Quint McCabe, E. Kerr, and 3 of Diamond Stable. Woom Broom Express is coming off a great 2009 season and tackles a tough group for his first start of 2010.
Working very well, incredibly fast. He's a speed horse, looks like the speed of the race. Hopefully it'll set up nice and it'll play catch me if he can.
Tatey is owned by Swift Thoroughbreds. Tatey's coming off a career season, including posting a 100 bear. His biggest competitor might be his stablemate.
You got a couple of speed, a little bit inconsistent on the speed. I'm not real fussy about that because I can place him accordingly. Like again, I'm just looking for him to show up. If he shows up, we're going to be the horse to outrun.
And now, let's enjoy this strong field of older horses. They're going 6.5 furlongs. They're going for a purse of $50,000.
There they go. Field of 6 older runners sent on the way to George Royal and Woom Broom Express. Right on the early lead. Tommy Danziger, Seminole Brave. Tatey showing good early speed. Texas Wildcatter. Almost Time is the trailer as they head to the clubhouse turn. They're trying to gear down now the opening quarter. And Woom Broom Express takes the field into the clubhouse turn with a little over a length advantage. It's Tatey in second. Texas Wildcatter on the outside third. Tommy Danziger fourth. Seminole Brave fifth by 2. Almost Time the trailer. He has about 7 to make up. Opening quarter in 22-1. They're midway on the backstretch and Woom Broom Express. Tatey putting pressure on from the outside. Texas Wildcatter. Tommy Danziger. Ground saving trip for Almost Time. And Seminole Brave. Into the far turn they go and a quarter mile to home. The half up in 45 flat. And Tatey on the outside now by a head. Woom Broom Express second by a length. Tommy Danziger followed by Texas Wildcatter. Almost Time now to the outside. Down the lane they come into George Royal and it's Tatey. Woom Broom Express. Tommy Danziger Almost Time. Texas Wildcatter. But an impressive score by Tatey. He wins it by 4. Tommy Danziger second. Photo for third. Almost Time and Woom Broom Express.
Run us to the race for our viewers.
I just wanted to place him. I knew the one. I kind of wanted to get him into position. He was there, again, easier than I anticipated, so I just kind of waited until I felt like going, and it was just let him go.
Watching from the grandstand, you had so much horse going in that first turn. Was it the way it looked?
Yes, it was. That's what I meant. Once I put him into it, well, he'll rate, but yet he's a confident rate. You know, I mean, he'll take a hold of you, but he's not a runoff type. It looks a little more, you know, mind you, I had a heck of a hold, don't get me wrong.
It does look like a runoff type.
Yeah, but I kind of put him into the race. I needed to, going 6.5, disposition and that I kind of wanted to, so it was my doing, not so much as him being that strictly that kind of a horse. It was as much as me as focusing him and putting him into that predicament.
He's one of the nicer horses I've trained, and I've trained a couple nice ones. So he's easy to train once you get him going. He's a stud colt, so he likes to play and have a good time, and he's a good feeling horse. So it's we need a pony to kind of bring him onto the racetrack and that sort of thing. But once he gets going, he's actually not that hard a horse to train. He works as fast or slow as you want him to work. He eats up great, and so he's in a lot of ways a pretty easy horse to train.
Today on our Salute to the Champions, brought to you by the Vancouver Province, we take you back only 1 year. We're going to be watching the 2009 Preakness Stakes, and of course you know what that means. You're going to get another chance to watch the amazing Rachel Alexander take this to the wire. Good race.
The Salute to the Champions is brought to you by the Province Sports, where you can read Tommy Walski's column, Hoss Talk, every Friday. The Province Sports, it all starts here.
From the Preakness, Big Drama gets off to a good start. Muskin Man is there too. Here's Rachel Alexander on the far outside, Pioneer of the Nile, and Freezing Fire has some early speed too. So they pass by us for the first time, and Velasquez is taking Big Drama well out into the track. Farthest out though, it is Rachel Alexandra. Being taken a bit wide going into that first turn here. Freezing Fire is third, Pioneer of the Nile is fourth. Take the Points is fifth on the outside as the filly gets floated wide. Then Papa Clem was down sixth toward the rail. General Quarters is seventh and Musket Man is eighth. And then it's Tone It Down is winning ninth on the outside. A break of 5 back to Wayne Lucas's 2 runners, Flying Private and Love Go. And they're followed by Terrain and Mind That Bird. The Derby winner, where he was in the Derby at this point, he is last. Now about 12 lengths from the lead. Strong enough is the pace for him to run into. It was a 46 3/2 mile, and the filly's in front. She's in front early on here. Rachel Alexandra narrowly, Big Drama, still going to stay right with her all the way. Freezing Fire looms back in third position. Half mile to go in the Preakness. On the inside, Papa Clem runs along in fourth. Far outside, Pioneer of the Nile. Now running in fifth. From the back of the pack, Mind That Bird. 13th, 12th, 11th, and he's 10th now. And there's 3 furlongs to go. Mind That Bird beginning to roll. Around the far turn here at Pimlico, Rachel Alexandra, the leader by 2 as the field turns for home. Big Drama running in second now. Mind That Bird looks for a way through, and he had to go way outside for it. Musket Man toward the inside. Rachel Alexandra's in front with 1 furlong to go. Musket Man moves to second. Mind That Bird is third on the outside. The filly trying to hold on. She's clear by 3. Mind That Bird runs at her late. Here's the wire. And the filly did it! Rachel Alexandra has defeated the Kentucky Derby winner, Mind That Bird, by 3/4 of a length.
Okay, that's it for this edition of the Sport of Kings. And once again, on behalf of everyone here, we would like to say thank you for allowing us to spend this last half hour with you on this Saturday morning. But before we go, we want to remind you, if by some chance you missed some part of today's program, don't worry. We're going to be repeating this program next Saturday. Keep them straight. Remember, we might be looking at you on that final turn. Have a good weekend. We open up today's program with a look at one of Canada's top jockeys who happens to be riding here. His name is Quincy Jones. In the interview, you're... Quincy Jones. That's why you told her don't say nothing. Yeah. We open up today's program with a look... We open up today's program with a visit one of Canada's top riders. His name is Quincy... I almost did it. Okay. Okay. We open up today's program with a look